to another edition of the Higher Learning Podcast. This is your host, Ron Ron. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, HNS420, also on Facebook and Twitter, HNS420 underscore HNS420. Also, follow the Politic Inform blogspot, politicinform.com, and follow us on Instagram, Politic and Broadcasting, actually on Instagram as well. But we about to get to a series of questions about myself, for people to get to know a little bit more about me personally and my journey. I haven't done one of these, so I think it's long overdue. So let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So, what is your full name?
My full name is Ronnie Lee Howard Jr. Pleasure to be a junior to a father that taught me some things. So, that's my full name.
And what is your name for short? What do they call you?
Most people call me Ronnie, but my close family members and people that know me forever call me Ron Ron. So if I hear that, I know it's from somebody from my past or my family members.
So can I call you Ron Ron?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ron Ron, what made you start a podcast?
I was on another podcast in 2018, No Filter Entertainment. Charles, my boy Charles, he put me on his podcast, and I liked it. I did really well, you know what I mean? And I wanted to go in a different direction though, so I decided to start my own at my house in Ontario, 2018. I went and spent like $500 on some equipment and set it up on my living room table and just said I'm gonna give it a go, start my own. And I wanted to really be able to express myself freely and voice my opinion, and without nobody saying anything to me, without nobody muting me or trying to kind of like guide me on what I gotta say. I get to write it, produce it, create it, talk my shit. So that's why I want to start podcasts.
And what inspired the name?
To be honest, I started out, I had a spoken session with my sister and my girlfriend at the time. And one of them did some goofy shit. And, I think we were high, and we just named it like high. It was like, that's some high nigga shit. That's some shit niggas do to make it high. So it was so funny to us in that moment. I decided to make it a brand. So I started off with that name, with the intentions of kind of molding myself after NWA. People said that name is controversial. Why would you put nigga in a business name? And I said, why the fuck not? NWA did it, and they were very successful. And this was in the 1980s. People accepted the fact that they were niggas with attitudes. White people bought their records. Everybody bought their records. And nobody could fuck about saying nigga. The only difference between them and me, which I understand at the time, they had the backing, they had the money, they had the funding, they had the people, they had everything they needed to support and fund that. People hearing me say that, ain't nobody gonna fuck with that. They gonna look at me like I'm just some dumb ignorant nigga, which I'm far from. So I had to pivot and market under a different name, High Nation Society, which my podcast turned from High Nation Society to Higher Learning, because higher learning is really learning at a high level by being high on cannabis. So I feel that, a cannabis smoker or a cannabis advocate such as myself, I think that when you're high, you're actually most creative. I think your brain unlocks that other 90% that they say we unlock part of that, because I feel elevated. I feel like I think better under pressure. I think I operate better when I'm under the influence of cannabis. It's nothing but positive, feeling. So I learn high, and I want people to learn high from a high motherfucker.
What did you actually want to be growing up?
Woo, man. I mean, like most boys growing up, I had the hoop dreams. I wanted to be a basketball player, watching the Lakers in 1988 winning the championship, Magic Kareem with my pops. I loved basketball, and of course, I had that dream of doing that. And, when I realized that wasn't realistic, I had a passion I just wanted to work for myself. I watched my father work his ass off his entire life. And, he was a perfect employee, was never late, never called off, worked his ass off, followed all the rules by the book, and was still seeing him being fired from jobs. And I'm like, this can't be. I can't work for nobody. So I just really wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was 10 years old. I never liked the fact of answering to people and listening to somebody tell me to go to lunch. I want to go to lunch when I feel like I want to go to lunch. So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. That was my goal.
So switching it up a little bit, where have you lived?
Ooh, okay. I gotta count every spot. I was born in Los Angeles and lived in South Central for like 6 months when I was baby. And we migrated to Pomona when my mama got robbed at gunpoint. Somebody robbed her at gunpoint. My dad was a country boy. He didn't know nothing about this LA shit, so he got her up out of there, moved to Pomona, thank God. And I grew up in Pomona. Grew up in Pomona, California, and went to school, high school, junior high school, elementary, graduated from Pomona. And after that, migrated to the IE. I lived in Rancho Cucamonga, Upland, San Bernardino, Stupidino, and Rialto. I lived in a couple of cities out here, but Rancho is where it's at right now.
Okay, so a little bit on that. What was your favorite place to live?
Woo, okay, that's a two-parted answer. I always gotta take it back to Pomona because that's where I grew up at, and I have the most memories. I got a lot of bad memories. I got a lot of good memories, but those memories, those are something that you think about all the time. So Pomona obviously is going to be number one always, but for that reason. But as far as quality, Rancho by far is the best city that I've lived in. As far as coming from living from Pomona and living in San Bernardino, urban places where it's a lot of activity, gang activity, street activity, stuff like that. And living in Rancho when I first moved out here when I was 18, I was like, it was a whole new world. Like you can go to the liquor store at midnight and nobody is outside standing outside. You can be outside walking and nobody worry about shit. So it was crazy moving out here back then. So Rancho is probably the best by far.
Okay. What's your goal for the rest of 2021?
Um, I've learned to set goals that are just more less than specific. So instead of just saying, okay, I want to make $50,000, I want the company to continue to elevate. So it take, let's say, 3 to 5 years to cross the green, getting the green or to make profit in a business. I started my company in 2018. Since then, I've linked and partnered with Politicking, with EYS, with other businesses, and now it's more of a team type thing. So we're close to to making profit or being in profit. It was a question. What's the question? I can't see it.
Ask him how he feels about today's music and climate.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that. Today's music. I'm gonna get back to that question, Jenkins. I'm gonna get back to that question, but just to answer the man's question in today's music, you know what? I have a better appreciation of it. At first, I was like the typical old head, clowning all the young music, calling it, mumble rap and bullshit, and I just wasn't digging it. And I realized, I got a nephew that's in this area that makes music. I got a bunch of young cats that make music, and I don't want to disrespect the art, so I started giving it a chance. And I'm always gonna say that, I like, lyricism. I like all shit like that. I like 2000s, 90s rap. That's my style. But I think music is in great hands. There's a lot of talented young guys out there making great quality music, in their own way. So I like the state of music today. But I definitely want to prefer that style if I'm listening to shit in my car on the way on a road trip or something like that.
Okay.
We have another question.
Yeah.
With the volume of
So I can see it. So it says with the volume of people that you meet, what percentage do you actually believe can make it big in the game?
well, it's something. My belief in what the statistics are two different things. I'm an optimistic person, so especially when I'm meeting somebody that I see that's doing something that they love, such as music, they got the passion for it, they got the talent. I'm always gonna tell them they can make it. I'm never gonna tell them they're not gonna make it. But now, as far as realistically, who will? We can look at those statistics on Google, and it'll tell you, it's not very many that makes it big like that. It's a very, 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 very small percentage that really makes it big. But me, if I meet somebody and a young cat or somebody that's doing something, I'm always going to encourage. 'Cause that's what I do. I believe we should all encourage each other and push each other. So I'm always going to tell you to go after your dream.
Okay. So since the audience had questions, We're gonna hop back into what we was rudely interrupting. Just kidding. Okay, so how would you like to walk into 2022?
2022. So this year, to finish the answer to the last question, I want to definitely continue to elevate. We've came from, well, I came from personally doing my podcast on the kitchen table, getting shirts printed at the local San Bernardino shop. Shout out to my boy Jake. I forgot the name of my man's company, but he's San Bernardino. He made my very first shirts. Shout out to him for that. But I came from that on the kitchen table with a computer shooting in 720p. Terrible audio. Terrible definition on the screen, and trying to scramble to fast forward, partnering with another company, getting a studio here in Riverside Studios is where we at, and having structure, having a Roku channel. We've done that over the last couple of years. Now I believe it's time for us to continue to elevate. We're throwing a lot of events up here at Riverside Studios, and we're in the film, the broadcasting company. I want to definitely make sure we tap into doing our documentaries and short films and things like that, and tapping in the creative zone. And I want to see us pushing our Roku channel to creating it to where we want to be like a Black Netflix. I want us to see us pushing that and getting towards that in 2022.
So, okay, what is your favorite food?
Favorite food. That's another two-part answer. So right now, I'm on my workout. I got a certain goal to hit. I know I've already lost a lot of weight, but I'm still aiming to lose a little bit more so I can look how I want to look. So right now, I'm not eating my favorite foods right now. Normally, my favorite foods is fried chicken and hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Greens with it, some fries, motherfucking roll. That. That's my favorite dinner food, and I like cereal. I can eat cereal all day. You know what I'm saying? I can eat Raisin Bran, not corn flakes, Frosted Flakes, motherfucking Reese's Cup. I like cereal, so that's probably the two things that I eat the most when I'm not on my bullshit. But right now, it's just fucking, no fried food, low fat everything, diet everything is bullshit right now.
Okay. So, what is your favorite non-alcoholic beverage?
I want to say water, but I'll be lying like a motherfucker. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap. I want to say water. That's a good question. It's probably orange juice. I love orange juice. I love good orange juice. I like that Simply Orange. I could use my own shit, but I like that Simply Orange. That shit popping. They got the light version now, which that shit is 50% less calories, and that shit still bomb. So I still get the orange juice. And I be lying and say I don't like soda, but I do. I love soda. I like that burn that go down your throat when you drink it. I like to drink 7 gulps and then just burn you right here. I like that shit.
Soda's it helps you get your food down fast.
Yes, it does. I love soda, but I know it's bad. But I'll be drinking a lot of diet soda, which I know it's bad for you, for all you health nuts who will be on my head. I know diet soda is bad for you, but fuck it, everything's bad for us. I gotta have some bad shit. Fuck that.
Okay, so I want to double back on a question.
Okay.
About your favorite food. What is your favorite munchy food after you have learned higher? Should I say?
Like right now, my go-to chips. Every time I smoke, I want a bag of chips.
The Nutter Butter
chips all over there. See, I'm eyeballing them. I'm not supposed to be eating chips, so that's my weakness. If I get high, I definitely want to just eat chips. I want to eat shit that's just you could open and just eat, sweets and shit like that. Like that's the dangerous part about smoking. If you don't got appetite under control, you can become a fat motherfucker. I know you can. That's what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? When I was on a couple years ago, I gained a lot of weight when I was driving for Lyft. You know what I'm saying? And what motherfuckers don't know, I wasn't your average Lyft driver. I had my sack of weed and I'm rolling up in between rides, smoking. So I'm hungry. I got the snacks right here. I'm driving all day, making my bread or whatever. And I'm smoking. So, I'm eating this shit. And I gained probably 40, 50 pounds doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Eating chips and cupcakes.
Okay, so pick one. Sweet or spicy? Sweet or spicy?
Damn. that's really hard because naturally I just like food and I like taste. I like sweet and spicy. Like, I can't pick one. I like everything spicy. When I eat Mexican food, I need that hot sauce. I eat soul food, I need that Louisiana. When I eat Chinese food, I need they hot sauce. I need hot sauce in everything. I like hot chips. I like hot everything. But on the flip side, I like Kool-Aid. I like soda. I like German chocolate cake and banana pudding. I like sweet shit. You feel me? I like red velvet cake and carrot cake. And see, I'm about to cheat today, man. Fuck.
Mhm.
Okay, we didn't want to provoke you. This was just a this or that question.
Man, fuck shit.
Come back to your senses. Okay, so on a lighter note, get your mind off of the food for a second. Who are your favorite sports teams?
Oh man, you know what? I grew up a lifelong Laker fan. Everybody knows me closely. I wasn't missing Laker games for shit back in the day. Like if it wasn't nothing, I didn't give a damn about nothing else. I just wanted to watch the Lakers. You know, when Kobe and Shaq came, that shit was just like that was a golden era for me. So I grew up a Laker fan. But you know, with the death, R.I.P. Cole, with the death of Kobe, man, like that just changed. I can't follow the Lakers like that no more because that shit was just when he retired, it just wasn't the same for me no more. And then when he died, it was just like. So I don't have a basketball team right now. I don't fuck with the Lakers because I don't fuck with LeBron. LeBron is weak. Ron the man is great. I'm talking about the basketball player. The basketball player, Ron is weak. I don't care what nobody say. He's weak. So I don't fuck with the Lakers. I like players. So in the NBA, I like Kawhi Leonard. He's from Riverside. We in Riverside Studios in Moreno Valley, something like that. I like Paul George. He's from out here, so I follow all my locals. So football is more complicated. I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, lifelong.
Cowboy up.
Jerry Jones came out and said some bullshit. So I had to stop fucking with the Cowboys. I'm not about to cheer for a racist ass owner. I know all of them motherfuckers is racist, but he came out and said the shit. So I'm no longer a Cowboy fan. I'm a Ram fan. I don't really watch, but I claim the Rams because they're from LA. So
Go Rams.
I'm a Dodger fan. Dodgers up. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers. You know what I'm saying? Boxing. I like boxing. You know, I like Deontay Wilder, nigga, you better get your redemption this time. You better not let that big motherfucker do that shit again. Come on, Deontay Wilder. None of that bullshit, man. Come on.
Okay, that is gonna get you riled up too, I see. So let's get a little bit personal.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Do you have any children, and what is your favorite thing about parenting?
Oh, Lord. Oh, I do. I have 3 children. My oldest will be 16 in October. The second one will be 14 in September. And the little boy, his big head self, will be 12 in August next month. So, favorite thing about parenting, honestly, it kind of like, this is a tough ass world, man. Like, this is tough on us, you know, in the workforce and in all aspects of life. The world is tough, man, and when you go home, you know you can't take whatever happened to you outside of the home. You can't take it in the home with kids. It's going to affect them. You know this as a parent, but you can't though because they bring you right back to earth. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing is having them. Kids love you unconditionally. You doing what you got to do as a parent. They love you unconditionally. That's the best feeling ever because nobody else got to love you in this world. I say I don't give a fuck who like me. I finally reached the point in my life. I don't beg for friendship. I don't give a fuck who like me or who don't. My kids love me though. So that's all that matters. I got them until all of us pass away. I got that unconditional love. So having that unconditional love as a parent, and it kind of gives you something to live for. I got a lot to live for. Everything I'm doing is for them. Everything I'm doing is for their future. So I feel that I got a whole lot to live for outside of my own pleasures. So I think that's the best thing about being a parent.
Nice. So I feel like that question or that answer that you gave me kind of ties into the next question is what is something you realize now about parenting that you didn't before?
That shit expensive like a motherfucker, man. I mean, I knew it was. I did, like, but when you're young and stupid, you don't map this shit out. I think I was 21 when I got my baby mom pregnant. Man, I don't even think I had a job at the time. I was in and out of school, trying to find myself. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just 5 years after my mother passed away. So I'm not one to use excuses, but I was scrambling around trying to figure out life after that. As a youngster, losing his mama and shit. So becoming a young father, I was unprepared. It was like, damn, I got this whole kid, and I ain't even got a fucking pot to piss in. I'm gonna pour it out. So um, I didn't realize that it takes a whole lot of fucking money to live comfortably having kids. And I wish I would have realized that back then when I was doing this stupid ass shit. To now when I have to do it, like I would have made it easier on myself. I would have avoided some of the fucked up times or the hard times or the things of confusion that I went through. I think I would have avoided that if I would have thought about that shit in more detail, how somebody would have taught me about
That's a good ass answer. For real. So let's get into these are the last two questions. And being at higher learning, we understand that you are into elevation, things that make you feel good,
it. Yes.
preferably marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Higher learning is about educating ourselves, being motivated, and one thing that motivates us the most, and we can collectively agree, is music. So tell the audience, everybody on YouTube, wherever they are watching, what is your favorite song right now in 2021?
Favorite song? Oh my God. To narrow this down to a song, it's really, really difficult. I'm gonna try to stay in bounds here and just do a song. There's so many.
Okay, I'll give you two. Then I'll give you a song in 2021 only, and your favorite song, period, that motivates you, and all of that.
All right. So, song in 2021. I'm trying to go in between Migos straight, but I gotta go Cole. J. Cole, 100 mil. 100 mil. I mean, that song right there. That man said, I got 100 mil, and I'm still grinding. Like, I love songs about the grind. Like, that's the type of music I like. Speaking about the grind and listen to all these different niggas talk about they story and they grind. Everybody got a different path. Everybody got a different throne. So everybody got a different journey. So it's fun to hear J. Cole talk about how he got there. Jay-Z, those are guys, Nipsey Hussle, those are guys talk about the grind and what path they have to take. So that's the type of music that interests me. So 100 million, I'm still is a song for this year for me for J. Cole. Shout out to J. Cole. Um, and of all time, or you say anytime,
Yeah.
artists, definitely Nipsey Hussle. I'm trying to pick in between these two tracks um, off of his. Actually, it's three actually. Stuck in the Grind off his project with Bino. That right there is just the story of my life. I just feel like I've been in the grind my whole life, as all of us, a lot of us have. But I just like listening to that song because it just takes me. It makes me think about my own. His other song on the Victory Lap, grinding on my life. That's another one, similar type of song. Grinding on my fucking life, and I see it paying it off, and I'm kind of like feeling that song and feeling how he was feeling in that moment. And also off that same album, Dedication, man. The lyrics of those him and Kendrick were saying on that, talking about they were dropping so many gems. Like I can't see the feeling.
That whole album was a cinematic movie in
Yeah,
audio.
yeah.
Dude,
Exactly.
I was like, whoever produced, everybody that put it on that album is insane.
Insane. It's a shame he didn't win a Grammy for that, but definitely that song is a song that just keeps me. I play that, and I hear the lyrics and hear myself in those lyrics. I relate to it, so I like things that motivate me. So that's the type of shit I like.
So, question not last but not least, what is your favorite album as a whole?
Oh my God. I mean, I know this answer, but I hate to pick one because there's so many. Like, I can't. Oh my God. Like, so many different artists. But if I had to pick one, if somebody had a gun to my head and said, okay, you got 3 seconds. Jay-Z, Blueprint 1. I know that's going to surprise. I'm so West Coast. I know I love Snoop. I love Corrupt. I love Pop. I love that type of shit. But Jay-Z, Blueprint 1. The reason is, of course, like I said, Jay-Z talks about hustling, talks about coming up, talks about how he did it, and that interests me. And that album came out around the time that Aaliyah died and 9/11 happened. That was all around the same time. So that's, I like symbolic shit that reminds me of shit. So that album, some bunch of shit happened around that time that album dropped. It kind of reminds me of all the times that was happening. So, I think about what he was saying on that album too. The Blueprint, he was talking about, coming in the game with $100,000, and 5 years later he's at 80 million. And now I look, that was 2001. Jay-Z said he was 80 million up in 2001. It's 2021, and Jay-Z's 1.3 up. Do I need to say anything fucking else? Shout out to Jay-Z. Like, you love him or hate him, but that man get that paper. So, Blueprint was a dope album to me. That's like the best hip hop album in my opinion ever. I'm sorry, Illmatic, and All Eyes on Me, and Ready to Die. Dog Food, to me, that's underrated. Outkast's first album. Oh my god.
I feel like you're sneaking in a few other ones.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I had to. You caught me. You got me. You got me. Blueprint 1, my favorite. It's my favorite album.
Stay focused.
Forces Drive. Victory Lap. Forces. Sorry about that. Blueprint.
It's inevitable. There's good content and good music out there. Great producers, all that stuff. So. I mean, I'd be crazy if I sat here and gave you one album too, So that's dope. This is the conclusion of the questions. And tell the people what you got going on and where they can find you. Who you got coming up next on Higher Learning?
So, Higher Learning, we do the artists, and actually not just artists, content creator interviews every Wednesday here at Riverside Studios in studio. We've had several musicians, we had speakers. Next week we have Hollywood. I'm sorry, tomorrow. Tomorrow we have 2 artists. Tomorrow, I don't know how to pronounce the name. I have to look at my phone. But yeah, we do have 2 artist interviews tomorrow that we're doing. And also next week we have Hollywood. I know Hollywood personally. That's why I know his name, y'all. And we also have Amber Rose, my sister, next week. She's a speaker. She's a visionary. She's works with trying to destroy the system. So, it's going to be an interesting interview. But no, we have a lot of events coming up here at Riverside Studios. We're going to be doing a lot of pop-ups, concerts, parties. So just stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram, HNS420 Politics and Broadcasting. Follow Facebook, HNS420 Politics and Broadcasting. Twitter, HNS420 underscore HNS420. Look out for our in-store clothing store. We have a clothing brand that we're going to have a storefront pretty soon. Look out for our online store as well. Look out for the Roku channel coming up. Follow the blog, politicsinform.com. We have a lot of great articles, a lot of content coming, new articles. All the podcasts, we have over 12 podcasts on there you can look at. We have new articles coming, new developments. Just follow us, and thank you guys for continuing to support HNS 420 and Politics Broadcasting. And until next time, thank y'all for watching. We out of here. Smoke up.